Judy D. says, what about the lies and signs? What about the lies of signs and wonders Bill was talking about at the service? Can you share some nuggets?
Lying signs and wonders? I'm assuming that's what they mean.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, lying signs and wonders. Well, I mean, the two Egyptian magicians, they tried to mimic what God was doing to the point that, Pharaoh was like, hey, what's the big deal? Sometimes these meetings run together, and I remember saying things, I just don't remember when. But at some point, not too long ago, we talked about how that the adversary has power, but he's not all powerful. There are things that he can do, influence, manipulate, what have you, but he's not all powerful. So Yeshua gave us a warning that there was coming a day that if the very elect weren't careful, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, even they could be deceived. All right, so he doesn't say that if it's not possible. So what is the admonition? Be on guard, be alert, know what the truth is, know what the authentic is, so that you're not deceived by lying signs and wonders and these kinds of things. In the Gospels, there's, my mind is checking out on me right now. There's this time when Yeshua performed this miracle. It was the fish and loaves. And there were people that after the miracle of the fish and loaves, he kind of got off by himself. He disappeared. And then before you know it, he's over in another village on the other side of the lake. And they followed him over there, and they're asking, how did you get here? And he says, well, what are you looking for? He says, you didn't come because you wanted to listen to what I had to say. You came looking for some more fish and loaves. You came looking for the signs. You came looking for the miracles and those kinds of things. And so a wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign. They go looking for the sign. Well, if the adversary knows that they're going to look for a sign, guess what? He's probably more than willing to give them one. He's probably willing and able to give them some kind of a sign and wonder, which then, brings me back to the main thing here. If our eyes are on the author and the finisher of our faith, if we are truly immersing ourselves in his word, and we're spending time with him, to know his voice. He said, my sheep know my voice. They won't listen to another voice. Well, if I'm his sheep and I know his voice and I hear that other voice, I'm not going to be manipulated. I'm not going to be led astray. I'm not going to listen to those things. All right? So people are thinking, well, gosh, I've been led astray before. We all have, in some degree or the other, But how do I want to say this? Sometimes we perhaps are allowed to go through things to learn a lesson that we'll never forget. It can serve a purpose. So then, the lying signs and wonders, the epitome of that to me is the false prophet is going to cause an image that the beast has commissioned to give it power to both speak and live. So does the false prophet have godlike qualities to breathe the breath of life into it? No. He has power, but he's not all powerful. But he's got enough power that he can cause something to have the appearance of being godlike. And if people don't know the one and only true God, they're going to be led astray by these lying signs and wonders. So when we know his word and we know those things that are true to his character and his attributes, we know that there are things he will do and there are things he just won't do. And we know that, then when something comes along that defies who he is and what we know him to be, therein again, we have to know him, not just know about him. Then I don't think we're going to be easily swayed by those things. It's those people who don't. Those people who know about him. They have some kind of a knowledge of, well, I feel like I'm rambling here, but let me throw this in. There are quote unquote Christians today who believe it's completely acceptable for practicing homosexuals to stand in a pulpit and teach others from the Word of God. Because we're living in the 21st century. We have evolved. We're not into that antiquated stuff that's in the Old Testament. You know, we're New Testament Christians. And, you know, what would Jesus do anyway? He loves everybody. He loves them just the way they are. Well, he loves people. He says, come just as you are, but don't stay just as you are. You got to be transformed into my image, you know, from his point of view. So, lying signs and wonders are, I think, designed specifically to deceive those people who are kind of half in, half out. They know about God. They don't really know about God. The people who don't want anything to do with God, what does it matter? You know, they'll go for anything. But it's to seduce those people who don't really know him, just know about him. But my sheep know my voice.